Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn daily energy for Wednesday, December 22nd. And this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. All right. So we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands loves to come out for Capricorn. We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Page of Swords. Seven of Cups. The Fool. Page of Cups. Four of Pentacles. And the Nine of Wands. I feel like there is a situation, or there's a situation that you haven't handled yet. I feel like it's something that you're not happy. There may be someone. I feel like your happiness is being affected by someone or a particular situation. I feel like you have scattered energy about the situation and you're delaying making a decision on what it is that you want to do. I feel like you want to start new and you want to start fresh, but you haven't been able to kind of, you know, as they say, pull the trigger and make something happen, to make some changes. I feel like by you making these changes, you might feel like it might affect you more than what you're thinking it's going to affect. Sometimes we think, well, if I make this decision, this is probably how I'm going to feel. But then it's like you make that decision and you're like, oh, that's nothing what I thought it was going to be. That's nothing like what I was thinking it was going to be. But I feel like the time has come that you need to make a decision about something and stand up for yourself. Because there's like this little guy here and he's got his wands and there's this huge shadow of this bird coming and he's like, yep, I'm going to stand here. And he's got a pot on his head for protection, and you know, he's looking a little ragtag, and he's got, you know, teapot covers for his knee pads, and one of them is falling off, and he's a little tired and he's a little beat up, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna hang in there, and I'm gonna keep moving forward. And then for future energies, we have this card, which is the Seven of Cups, and she's just looking, she's like, the possibilities are endless, that this turned out better than I was thinking it was going to be. And I feel like that's sort of what the energy is. Because sometimes, like I was saying, is that we think that it's going to come out one way, but it's actually better than you thought. Let's see. Let's get some cards. Or like you're surprised. You're like, oh, I didn't think it was going to happen that way. All right, so clarification for the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Clarification for the Queen of Wands and Ten of Cups. Okay, maybe it's not these cards. Let's try these. Clarification for the Queen of Wands and Ten of Cups. Two of Cups. Is it about a relationship? Is it about a relationship that you're starting and you're like, well, no, I'm not really attracted to that person because they're not my type. And so you're like, no, I'm not going to do it. But it turns out to be better than you thought. Or is it a relationship that, you know, you were thinking, oh, I thought this was going to be better. I thought this was going to go one way, but it's really going another way. All right, 9 of Pentacles, the World. 9 of Pentacles is like things are going better than you were thinking they were going to go, okay? That it's going to, it's almost like you're making it difficult. Like you're thinking it's going to be harder than it actually is. And this is something that's been delayed, but I feel like it's almost like sometimes you just have to let things fall into place and see how things happen and see how things play out. And going from there. All right, let's see. 7 of Cups. Queen of Wands again, double Queen of Wands. But I feel like this is getting your fire and your passion back and feeling like you can do anything and you can take control of a situation. We have the Fool, which is starting new, and then we have the 2 of Wands, so I feel like those two cards are kind of the same. It's about looking out towards the future and making things happen and taking that leap of faith. And go ahead and like not talking yourself out of whatever this thing that you want to do, and ready to put the work in and to reach out who you need to reach out to. Maybe there's someone that you need to communicate with. Maybe there's someone that you need to talk to. Maybe it's a situation that you've put on hold because you're like, well, I already know how this is going to turn out. And sometimes that's true and you're right. And sometimes you're like, well, you know what, that was better than I thought. Or maybe it's like a celebration or a get together, you know, and you're like, I don't want to go because every time I go, I don't have fun. Well, if you go in with that attitude saying, I'm not going to have fun, then you're not going to have fun. But if you go in with the attitude, okay, I'm open to this. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to enjoy this time. I'm, you know, not going to put some negativity into this. And then you find out, hey, this was way better than I thought. I had a really good time. And I admit that I'm that way. I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising, and I don't really like social situations. I try and avoid them like the plague. But at our barn, we were having a barn Christmas party, and there's like 80 people there or so, and I was like, oh, I didn't really want to go, but people had asked me to go, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into this with a positive attitude. Like, I'm not going to go in with that, I'm going to hide in the corner. I'm going to go in with a positive attitude. And you know what? I really had a good time. I'm really glad that I went. It was very enjoyable. And I'm really glad that I went. But the key was that I went in with a good attitude. Okay? About it being successful, about it being positive, not the attitude of I'm going to close myself off and I'm going to hide in the corner because I'm forced to go to this and I really hate this. Because I feel that at that point it's no point in you going, because it's like if that's the attitude that you're going to bring, then it's not going to be a good time for you and other people that are around you. But if you have this positive attitude and this good attitude, you know, and there are days when we just don't feel positive and we're just having a hard time and we're struggling, and that's okay. But then if it's something that, you know, you want to go to or a situation, it's like, okay, I'm going to go into this with a positive attitude. If you have to talk to somebody about a certain situation, if you have to discuss things, if it's a touchy subject, instead of going in there being on the defensive, going into it with an open mind. Okay. 10 of Wands. So we had the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. So I feel like that's progression. It's about seeing the progression, seeing the movement, seeing that, okay, it's about my perspective on how I'm going to go into this situation. And am I going in on the defense, being negative, or am I going to go in with a positive attitude and I'll work this through? And I feel like you'll really be surprised with the results really being surprised that, oh, this didn't go any way the way that I thought it was. And then realizing that it was your attitude and how you went into it, that's what changed, so that when there's things in the future, that you can look at that and learn from this situation. And I feel like that's, you know, that's what life is about, is about learning. It's almost like, you know, you go from kind of surviving in certain parts of your life because, okay, I just have to get through this. And then it's like, as you get older, you kind of look at it as, okay, what can I learn from this? And then you're always learning, but then I feel that you don't have as many stresses in your life, so you're able to really look at things, or you get tired of things happening a certain way, and it's like, how can I change that? How can I make this different? All right, so let's close out with a animal oracle. And like I said, this could have to do with whatever situation. If it's a partnership, if it's trust in divine detours. Okay. Very fitting, because it's not, this reading I feel is like it's not going the way that you thought it was going to go. But it was a big learning lesson. It was a positive, it was a change, it was a different perspective. And that maybe that's why the universe keeps pushing you towards something. It's like, okay, well, didn't learn last time, so let's see this time. Will they learn from this time? Will they learn from this time? All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.